What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel, and I wanted to go over why eFootball is the best game, because many players out there get stuck on the bells and the whistles of FC. And even a game like UFL that's newer, you can tell how much time and effort they put into the customization, which they did a great job. And FC does a great job too. Even the throwback kits, they have certain digital kits that are only available, licensed kits, but they're only available in the game. Like Juventus, they had a Real Madrid, a Man City. So customization, they do great. All the different packs in the different card, decorations or design, I guess you would say, they do a great job there. However, we're talking on the pitch, because at the end of the day, licenses are not important. We all play Ultimate Team anyway, or an Ultimate Team sort of game mode, whether you call it Dream Team, Ultimate, whatever. And so you're not playing as Man United, as Bayern Munich, as Barcelona, right? In this game I am, because it's just an exhibition, because I wanted to show you what really matters in these games. But we're playing a mode where you take players and you create your own team. So what is the central piece that matters more than anything else in any football game? It is the gameplay. It is what happens on the pitch. Now, there are no doubt players out there, particularly in FC, probably only in FC because of how deep it is with so many different promos nowadays and the transfer market and all that, and how much depth the game has. Because that's where eFootball and UFL, that's where they're both lacking. The depth. eFootball needs more modes. They need more depth in how to get players. It can't just be spend money, get this player. Spend money, get... I get it. Konami gets uber rich off of it. But to get more players or to keep players interested in the game, they have to get more depth. They have to put players in that you can grind for, right? That keeps players in the game, which ultimately is what keeps money going for Konami, right? Because at this rate, players will get sick of eFootball unless they truly appreciate the gameplay, right? Because that is the main thing that makes eFootball the best game, and it should be the most important thing. For some players it is, but it's clear that for many, they get stuck on the bells and whistles. And so why I'm showing you this particular game, it's literally just a regular exhibition between two real teams, right? Barcelona and Bayern Munich. Both lineups exactly how the teams play in real life, or similar, right? Because there's a lot of different tweaks that go on, but very similar. Similar starting lineups to where they're at right now, real life. And what happens when you watch this, and what would happen if you watch the same thing, Barcelona versus Bayern in FC, and if they had it, Barcelona versus Bayern in UFL, which they don't have any licensing in UFL. Well, they do. They have like Bayer Leverkusen, right? So if you watch whatever two licensed teams in each of the games play, what you would see is that eFootball is by far the most realistic. That's why it is the most rewarding game and therefore the best game. Because just like real football, in any sport, why we play as competitors is because we want to put the work in and then test ourselves against others. Did you put more work in than me? Are you more skilled than me? Do I have to go and put more work in to then beat you later on? Like, that's the whole point in being an athlete or being a competitor and playing sports, any sport, is you want to measure how good you are at that particular sport. And it's not just, oh, I played him, he beat me, it's done. It's, okay, you got me this time, but I'm going to go get to training. I'm going to go get to work and get better. And eFootball by far is the most satisfying and rewarding for when you put the work in, both tactically and on the pitch. And in all the other games, right, or both the other games I should say, the tactical side doesn't go near as deep. You set up your formation, you set up a few settings, you're in. That's it. Not anything like eFootball where you put the play style of the team in with the individual play styles, right? With the certain player builds, which you can change. For instance, Zanetti as a right back is different, than how I would build Zanetti as a CDM. Not to mention the player skills, and then the 5 additional player skills you can add. The boosters aren't as big because they're more, even though they have names like shooting, crossing stuff, it's just attribute boosts, right? But the skill sets, those absolutely mean something because they affect how your player will perform. And all of these things combined determine how your players will react on the pitch, how they will move, what they're capable of. Then you have to add your skill and decision making. When to pass, what kind of pass, when to shoot, what kind of shot. when to press with your defense as opposed to dropping back, when to send your player on a run with L1, right, which is supposed to be a 1-2, but you might just use it to trigger a player on a long run. Then you might make 1, 2, 3 passes before playing through to that player that you send on a run. The better you are at making those type of decisions, seeing plays 1, 2, 3 steps ahead, the better you'll be in the game. And that's exactly like real football. Whereas FC is more reactionary, right? You can dribble for days. You can ping passes all over the place. You can hit corner after corner and serve it to hit a bicycle kick over and over and over and over. And it's just more arcade, not realistic. If you think about real football and you watch it, sometimes they're just going to clear the ball out. Sometimes they're just, off of a kickoff. You're not going to see a player dribble the whole team doing a bunch of skill moves all the way down the field. You might see them go long. Man City, every time, what do? Back to Ederson, long ball. So even the best teams in the world who play beautiful football make very many mistakes every single game. That's realistic. That's how the game goes. And that's how eFootball is. And so when you do make great passing sequences that lead to goals, it is a great feeling. Even when you have just great build-up and you might have a close miss, it's still a great feeling because you can see you're getting there, you're close, right? Now, I'm not saying it's perfect. There's some wonky stuff. The AI assistance and the little speed boost with players running all around, chasing the ball, that's super unrealistic, right? So they got to do something with the defensive AI, and they have to tone down the overall assistance they give low-level players because they created an amazing game, and apparently it was just too hard for some players. But that's the whole thing. Put the time in to get better. If that's not fun for you, then you're playing the wrong sport because football isn't a game that's just easy to pick up at its core. It is the beautiful game, and it is that for a reason. If it was easy, I promise you it wouldn't be called the beautiful game, right? You have 11 players looking to work coherently to beat another group of 11 players by putting the ball in the back of the net, right? There's so many moving parts, and there's so many things that can and do go wrong, but when it comes off, it's a beautiful thing. And eFootball emulates that better than any game. So they're not perfect, like none of the games are, but they by far have the most realistic experience when it comes to pure, beautiful football. And that's why this is the game to play if you are a true football-loving gamer like myself. And it's also why I'm going to fight through the nonsense meta and all the BS that's in this game that really gets showcased when it shouldn't, and show what this game truly can produce. So with that being said, keep grinding, keep having fun, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!